so true, you know? So I'm dedicating this song to God's greatest creation. Just wanted to let you know that you are amazing. Let me start by saying I love you. And no one can quite compare. You're so beautiful. You're so incredible. I'm always thinking of you. Oh yeah, yeah. You are so amazing. You are God's greatest creation by far. To all of the grandmothers, mothers, daughters and wives, sisters and aunties, the queens of our lives. You are so amazing. You are. You gotta be sent from heaven. Gotta be from above. Forever and a day, you're cherished. Cherished. I see an angel here on earth. There's no limit to your worth. You know the world adores you, and I do too. You are so amazing. Yeah. You are to me God's greatest creation. Oh yeah, by far. All of the grandmothers, mothers, daughters and wives, sisters and aunties, the queens of our lives. You are so amazing. You are. And I know you may have heard this a million times, but I'm here to tell you 1,000,001 that you still are amazing. You know, just listen. You so amazing. Second to none, you are incredible. You're so. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Yes, we are here. It is Tuesday. A great Tuesday. You woke up, thank God. Blessed to see another day. Appreciate y'all joining me, man. I'm really starting to like this this segment every week. Come to y'all and talk, and I appreciate the participation, man, that comes in every week. If y'all don't know, you know, I got to go down the line. I'm MJ Reese, half of the Lineage Podcast, grandson of Frederick D. Reese, the man that was instrumental in inviting Dr. Martin Luther King and John Lewis and Sneak and SCLC to Selma, Alabama. Y'all know the rundown. Appreciate everybody that's subscribing and hitting the notification bell on the YouTube page. If you want to see the show as it is, please go to the YouTube page, man. It's a better experience, I'll say, if I do say so myself. But this is my segment. It's called Minds and Music with MJ. Today, if y'all don't know, my family is musically talented, I must say. And my cousin, his name Johnny. He go by Sir John Lee, but I hit him up and I said, "Hey, cousin, can I please? There's one song I really like." I said, "Can I please play that on the show today, man? I really liked it." He was like, "Of course, you already know what time it is." So yeah, so the music day will be coming from Sir John Lee. He's my cousin. He's out of California, very talented man. But let's get into the show today. I know I played Amazing in the beginning. That is a song from yours truly. I wrote it about women, especially Black women. They are dear to my heart. That's all I know. That's who raised me. That's who loved me. That's who I love. They are number one. It is by far to me. To all the other men, all the other cultures and demographics, if you feel that way about your lady and your type of lady and who you were raised by all means you should. But for me, it's nothing like my Black queens. But what I want to do today is focus on fathers. And today's show is going to be called Fathers First. I want to outline how important fathers are I'll say as a whole, but especially in our Black community. A lot of the times, man, the fathers don't get credit. I know my dad, when I was growing up, because I'm 39 now, I'm pushing 40, y'all. Yeah, your boy getting up there. But was growing up, my dad used to always say, man, Father's Day, Mother's Day is fireworks, Skittles, rainbows, and gumdrops. Mothers are the stars, the moon, the sun, the shining, the ray that comes. I'm talking about every type of beloved poem you can think of. It is written for a mother, and everyone feels that way. Most people, majority, because there's some mothers out there that need to step up, that needed to step up. But for the majority, for the overwhelming majority, everyone loves their mother. It is not the countless of songs from Boys and Men, and it's just countless. But when it comes to fathers, that job is overlooked and underappreciated. It really is. One, because especially in the Black community, I have to be honest, and y'all know me, I'm transparent. It's some of us that are missing out of our children's life that we really have to step up. So a lot of the times, you know how they say a bad apple will spoil the whole barrel. In somewhat of a sense, that's how it is when it comes to speaking about fathers in depth. We get like that sometimes. So even the good fathers get overlooked and overshadowed by the negative father. So, but there is hope for every father. I've seen fathers really get the short end of the stick. I've seen fathers who deserve the short end of the stick, but I've also seen them turn it around and in their latter years have a great relationship with their children and whatsoever, even their grandchildren. So it's good to see that sometimes it can start out negative but end up positive. But what I want to do today is give flowers to my fathers. That's why I call it fathers first. Now I know a lot of my mothers. This is naturally how it is. What do you mean fathers first? You know, the mother should be first. Well, I'm here to say my personal opinion that fathers are. If I don't want to put it on the scale with mothers because it's two different lanes. But fathers should be just as important as mothers. So it should be 1 and 1. I'm not going to even say 1A and 1B. Fathers and mothers should be right eye to eye, the same height, the same importance and everything. And I'm going to show you why fathers play a significant role in the outcome of not only childhood and adolescence and teenagers, but adulthood. So let's get into it. Y'all know me. I do research. I love to do research. It's something that I fall in love with, even through not just through the show, but through many of things. If I'm getting into something, I like to have my numbers and research to back it up because I just don't want my opinion to be stamped. But let's show this now. The number of children living with a single mother or single father in the United States from 1970 to 2020. This is the most updated graph and information that I can find. They don't have the statistics from this is the U.S. Census Bureau, y'all. So this is legit. So as you can see, the single mothers were really minute, and as you get on, this is about 1,000. This is about thousands. So you see 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. As it goes on, living with a single mother or a single father, as you can see, the numbers are still climbing, but the single fathers are starting to become more. The single fathers are starting to increase, which is not a good or bad thing because I want the bar graph to be lower. I don't want the number of children living with single mother, single father to be this high. So we want the bars to decrease as it goes on. But if we want to take somewhat of a good thing from this, we see that single fathers are starting to step up more. Also, this reasons children live with only one parent. As you can see, the majority of the children live either with a divorced parent or a parent that's never married. So we have to, ladies and gentlemen, we have to change that. One, we have to find a median to where we don't get, well, we want to get married more, and then find not only get married more, but stay together. We have to, and it's for the children's sake, because a lot of the times, let me move the graph. A lot of the times we look over the children because some of the, it's taboo, but some of the consensus are, oh, you don't pay bills. So we look at their out, we look at their we look at it as they're not as of importance as far as their feelings or what our decisions, how it may affect them. We kind of look at ourselves and monetary and everything in our scheduling. Then we take the kids' feelings into consideration for the most part when it comes to things of that nature. But like I said, let's get married and let's stay married. So those are the things we have to work on. And then it'll trickle down to our kids having more of a foundation in a successful childhood. Let's watch this. The percentage of children living with divorced and never married mothers, as you can see, it has climbed tremendously. As you see, 1970, it looked like about 1%, 75, 2%. When it gets to 1980, about 385, we really jumped. It went to 6, and in the 90s, it went to 7, and it's keep climbing. Now, me and my brother always talk about our opinions on why there are more single mothers, and a lot of that had to do with the mass incarceration and flooding the community with the drugs, and then locking the men up for petty crimes. And then when affirmative action and everything came in, the incentive for women to still get help, the incentive was, well, the rule was they could not have a man living in the house. So it created decades, about 2.5 decades. What it did was it incentivized women so much that they felt like they didn't need a man. So then that trickles down to the children. But like I said, there is hope. Now watch, now this graph here. Now this is what every time I do research on something, it's something that always shocks me. And this is one of the graphs that when I saw, I kind of said, okay, I have to talk about this. Now, children in poverty by family structure. Y'all, let's look at this. Now, the red is of the women or in when they're married, 2-parent household. Now, this is from 2011. I can't tell you that we looking beyond that, but I'm just showing you how it's scaling. 8%, 8.6, 8. Now you see it in 2009 and 2011, it kind of it went increase. But look at the blue graph; those are under single family, and majority of those are mothers. So what's happening is you're more likely to live in poverty when it's only mothers in the house. You're more likely to live in poverty when it's only mothers in the house. And the research that I've done, it affects Black and Hispanic families the most. Black and to be honest, we are about neck and neck. We're about neck and neck when it comes to fathers and the demographics. The Hispanic community and the African American community, we're about neck and neck in all of these numbers. I was doing number crunching last night for a minute, and we're about, it's crazy to see how close we are in that. Now watch. Now let's go to some positive things. Dads make a big difference. Now watch this. Children who grew up with involved fathers are 39% more likely to earn mostly A's in school. They are 45% less likely to repeat a grade. They are 60% less likely to be suspended or expelled from school. They are 2 times as likely to go to college and find stable employment after high school. They are 75% less likely to have a teen birth. That is big, y'all. One of the things that I did see is teenage pregnancy affects us the most. It is almost triple the amount it affects our white brothers and sisters. I want y'all to understand that. Teen pregnancy affects African Americans the most. And with the involved father, they are 80% less likely to spend time in jail. That is another one that affects us the most. The jail, we make up over 60% of the jail population, and the teen pregnancy, it affects us the most, y'all. So we're having babies out of wedlock too early. We're not co-parenting right. So then it creates this whole dysfunction. And you know, sometimes when you dig too much of a deeper hole, it's hard to come out of that. Now, not only am I going to highlight the fathers in this, I'm highlighting the stepfathers, because now I will say before I show that graph, the stepfathers, if you think it's hard for fathers to get credit, try being a stepfather. Now, I will say I am a stepfather. My daughter, I don't even like to say stepdaughter, but my daughter gives me a lot of credit for things. So I can say my daughter gives me, my stepdaughter gives me credit for a lot of things, and she shows her appreciation. But the overwhelming majority of stepfathers are overlooked. And the reason why I say it's a little more difficult in being a stepfather, we're going to play the music here in 10 minutes, than a stepmother. Majority of the time, when you are a stepfather, the child is living in the same house with you. When you are a stepmother, the child is living with their biological mother. So what happens is you still take on the responsibilities as if this was your biological child. So you like, my daughter's on my health insurance, stepdaughter, just for context, my stepdaughter's on my health insurance. Any type of trips, any type of school supplies, uniforms and stuff, here I am. But in the grand scheme of things, when it comes, and I will say, she has an involved father. My stepdaughter father is very involved. So I honestly, he really is. So it's a good thing when you can work together. But man, you really take the back seat. It's like when it comes to appreciation, you really do. And it gets worse as they get older, because especially if the dad is involved, but you doing all you can do, it's tough. So yeah, stepdad, step up. Yes, sir. So yes, it's tough. So that's why I want to give my props to my stepfathers too. So let me show this. Men who live with the spouse, partner, child, and no biological adopted child of their own. Now, I want y'all to understand, these are the percentage of men that has identified as a stepfather. And I can't, let me get this this ticker from down here. Let me hide that. So you can see this is from the US Census. These are the age of children with no biological or adopted child of their own. 40% none identified as a stepfather. 59% of men. Now, this research is from stepfathers and fiance. So this is coming, you're not boyfriend no more, you fiance going into marriage. 0 to 5, you see 43%. 6 to 11, you see 54%. And then 12 to 17, you see 64.9%. So more men are identifying as stepfathers nowadays, and I got to big up that, because I also saw a graph where it showed that 70% of people, of fathers, are now who are involved in their kids' life, are either staying with their next girlfriend and being involved in their child's life. This now that's straight African American men. So I got to give a big ups to that. So fellas, we're moving in the right direction. We really are. But I want the praise to also move in the right direction, because I want to show the significance of fathers in your life. If anyone has anything to say, like what they think that what traits show to them that significant about the father being in your life, or what do you think was lack thereof? If you have experience where your father was in your life, so it shaped you this way, or on the flip side, if you had an experience where your father was not in your life, how did you shape it? Now, my dad was in my life. My dad and my mom been married 39 years. He was one of the hardest working men I have ever seen, and he still is. That's a trait that I told my wife the other day. I've seen my granddad was one of the hardest working men I know. Then it went to my daddy. So who am I? And it's not just about working hard. It's about the effort, because effort goes a long way, especially like I didn't really truly value my father until I got older, because I had to step in his shoes. So I saw what he was going through firsthand. And when you're a child, it's like, well, mama cooked the food, mama changed the diapers, mama put a band-aid on me, and daddy is out working 100 hours. One time I seen my father work 7 days a week, and I want to say it was close to a month. I don't know what we were trying to get. I don't know if he was trying to get us something or a new car. I don't know, but I seen him go out that door every day. To one point where it affected my mom, where she was like, you working too hard. But he stood 10 toes down and kept doing it and provided for his family. So that's one thing I will always honor to the day my father passes away. He's always been a hard worker. You ain't gonna never have to worry about him working. So I kind of sometimes when I have been when the world has kind of hit me to the left or right, I look at those examples, and I'm blessed enough to have examples firsthand that I've seen in my life and experience. So I've always, if life hit me, I think about granddad and my father. Like life hit them, but they kept going. So it's possible you keep going. So now I know some people have had experience in their life where their father wasn't there, and it now I know my sister, all she had was her father. So and she can speak on certain things, that how it shaped her and how it molded her, and the effects and things of that nature by having just a father. So it can go both ways. But what I will say is, the media tries to make it seem like the black fathers aren't there. But it's strange that all the men I know, and when I go down my timeline and I see all of these pictures with fathers at the games, and they ate donuts with dad, and they getting all of this praise and happy Father's Day here and there. And I'm like, I don't know, because it's just not my circle, because all the men in my circle are great fathers. No one's perfect, but I would consider them all good to great fathers. And I'm just not seeing the lack thereof. Now, I do know a couple, but the percentage is so small, that contrary to what the media puts out there, especially in the African American community. So what I would suggest is more people kind of publicly praise their father, even if it's not perfect, because a lot of the times I do see fathers get judged on a different scale than mothers. We really do. We get judged on a different scale. Fathers almost have to be perfect. Really. He has to be there. He has to protect. He has to provide. Because I will say this, and I know I might get some flack for this, but I will say this. Whenever someone sees a female turn out to be a stripper, who is the first person they blame? The father. Now watch this. I've seen this. There's some fathers that want to be involved, but because of the mother's bitterness, she chooses to either make it impossible or almost by death for him to do what he needs to do or he wants to do in his child's life. We're going to get into that when I come back. Let's play a song. This is from my cousin, Sir John Lee. I feel this song. I might play like 2 minutes of it. if y'all can get up and cut a move to this, I'm really feeling this. This is Sir John Lee. Girls Love Blue. Let's get into it.
In moonlight, black girls turn blue.
1, 2, 3, Bustin', what you know about that Teddy Ruxpin? When you look me in my eye, I can barely function. I can feel the butterflies, got a nigga crushing. And I ain't like them other guys that you used to fuck with. I gave her my love, I gave her my hoodies, I gave her my best, she gave me the booty. I'm her teddy bear now, she know I'm a cutie. Got a nigga cooking for it, she know I'm a footy. So what you gon' do with this cutie nigga? You looking catty and your ass got a little bigger. Give me top, never stop, I'm a pop nigga. Like the way you throw the rock and you not jigger. You make me better than I ever was. You do it better than they ever done. I can recognize you by your silhouette. You're my favorite color, baby, you the one. Baby, I'm dying. Don't keep me lying. Baby, you shining. Body look fine like diamonds. Oh, you like beaming. You the main event of the evening. Girl, you the reason. Why the little boy still singing like, oh, girls love blue. Life alone, and it looks like you. I'm like the moon on a thing like you. Pause till I blow, and it's me and you. Sign of the times when you're not at home. When you're not around, girl, I feel alone. Hold me in your arms, girl, I feel at home. You could do no wrong, put me in that zone. See, girl, go get your hair done, go get your nails did. Spend it all on yourself, it's the weekend. I just wanna see you smile, go get you a bag. And when you done popping tags, I want you a bag. And then she coats, so it's easy to feel you. You in pain, I buy you Jimmy Choo, it's easy to hear you. She a different type of chick, so she get what she want. And all you niggas screaming simp, got the game fucked up. The world is yours, girl, it's all you. And any color you love, girl, it's all blue. I'm in love with you, I'm in love with every single fucking thing that you do. Woo! You make me better than I ever was. You do it better than they ever done. I can recognize you by yourself.
Yes, sir. I must say I like that song. Excuse the profanity, but hey, we all grown, but it is what it is. That's a vibe. I told my cousin, yeah, that's a vibe. That was Sir John Lee, Girls Love Blue. Actually, his father passed away. Rest in peace, Uncle Johnny. So play a mean guitar, man. Good God Almighty. So yeah, talent run through the family. It's a blessing that comes from up above. It is what it is. So shout out to Cuz for that. But yeah, let's get back into it. What I was saying before we left, let's come to some consensus. Because we gotta be honest, it's there. And this is what I believe. As we shift, let me put my father's first back up there, because fellas, I'm riding with y'all today. We riding together. We ride. I'm giving y'all flowers, man. Here we go, fellas. Okay, Penny, let me read the comment before I go. Penny answered, my father raised me and my 3 sisters alone. He wasn't perfect, but he did all of the above. Cook, clean, wash clothes, you name it, he taught us. Thank God for my father. He had to be tough. Man. Now that's something you don't see every day. Father raising you and 3 sisters alone. That's tough, man. That's tough. Big ups to Penny father, man. That's tough. Wow. But yeah, what I want to say is let's come to some consensus. This is what I believe. Okay, hold on. I never saw emotion from him. With that being said, I think I picked that up from him. You know what? Most females that was raised by their father, a father alone, they do pick up that. They do pick up more masculine traits. They don't really show a lot of emotion. It can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing at times, you know. But it is what it is. Hold on, let me stop this. Hope y'all still can't hear me. Earl Wesley. Oh, that's Cuz. What's up, Cuz? How you doing, Uncle Michael? You are doing great work. Keep up the amazing work. Appreciate that, Uncle Michael. Penny also said, but without him, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. Facts. That's big facts. But what I will say this. this is what I believe. I believe that will stop one thing of the battling between mothers and fathers, because we have to be real with ourselves and see the numbers. That majority is coming down a little bit, but a lot of us are co-parenting now. So what I believe is one thing that would kind of help, quote unquote, force fathers, because what I do see or I do hear is women say, well, he's not in his child's life. So then you have the child support argument against the visitation argument. So what I want to see the court system do, which I know they won't do because they have an ulterior motive behind it, I want to see just as they make a man become on child support, I want to see the same force when it comes to visitation. Here's what I'm saying. When we do a child support order, let's do a visitation support order. So within that child support order, let's say your child support is $500 a month for the child. Within that, let's go ahead and handle visitation right there. Let's go ahead and handle and say, okay, you get the child first and third weekends, you split birthdays, you split holidays, whatever the case is, or you get 10 days out the month. Let's go ahead and come to some type of amends on that also. I think that's one of the ways that would kind of fix it, because a lot of the times, and sometimes women will use the child as a crutch to hold against the man, but at the same time, fathers do that too at times, because we may feel like, oh, I don't want to talk to her, I ain't dealing with her, and you think that it's gonna hurt her by you not getting your child, when in retrospect, it's only hurting the child. So like I said, a lot of the times we don't look at how things affect the children, and we don't want to come together, come to some type of amends, because we too emotionally wrapped in what happened between me and you. But if we put that to the side and think about the child's best interest, then I think we can change. We can change that whole dynamic. Because one thing about it, when the courts get in it, it's all bad. It never ends good, because, and I can speak from personal experience, even though in most cases, in my case, I tried to work it out without getting the courts involved, but whatever, we're here now. But I will say personally that if you can avoid that, with all intentions, please do. But I think that's one thing that the courts, but here's why I know they won't do it. This is why I know they won't do it. They won't handle visitation and child support the same way, because what that would do, it'll tip the scale. Okay, we're here for the importance. The child needs to be monetarily taken care of, and that child needs his mother and father involved without giving mother the greater percentage of the power. So she has the power here, and then give him his rights here. They won't do that because it is better for the state to have us at odds than it is to have us together. Now let's look back at the family. If you look at the picture behind me in those days. Now, mind you, Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott King, my granddad, and you see Ralph Bunch, you see Juanita Abernathy and Ralph Abernathy, her husband, on the right side of her. Mind you, those people were in their mid to low 30s. See, a lot of the times we see the black and white pictures and we think, oh, they were in their 50s. No, sir. They were in their 30s. But one thing that was very different then than it is now, the black family was the number one objective. Point blank, period. They were the number one objective. So what happens now? This is what happened, y'all. They saw, wait a minute, we can call them the N-word, we can spray them with hose pipes, we can beat them with billy clubs, we can put tear gas in their eyes, but we cannot break up their family. So what happened was the structure of the family and the solidness was still there, and it was increasing. So they thought, if they keep doing like this, they having kids at a different rate than us, y'all. They are coming up in the corporate ladders. They are making more money. So what do we have to do? So they dropped drugs in the community, mass incarceration, and then they split the Black family up. And then what did they do? They gave power to the person, no disrespect, to the person that has the majority of the time the most emotional decision in it. They said, we're going to give you all of the power. So we're going to give you the money that you need. But when it comes to what the child needs to see his father, we're going to let you control that. And if the father wants his visitation, we're going to make it very hard for him to file to get it. We're going to take him through loops. And what does that do? That keeps us at odds. And then it keeps us going back and forth. And then inevitably, what it does, it keeps the Black family apart. Because they know, as long as the Black family was together, we were stronger, much stronger. Let's separate them and see what happens. So as y'all can see, the father, now I want to go back to this graph because I think sometimes we take for granted of this. Let me show this. Dads are important. Children growing up without fathers face greater risk and account for. Understand this. 90% of homeless and runaway youth are the children without fathers. 71% of high school dropouts, children without fathers. And 63% of youth suicides are children without fathers. So I ask you, what is the common denominator in this? They want to keep fathers away from their children, especially Black fathers. They want to keep fathers away from their children. They want to keep us at odds because they know that at the end of the day, it's going to keep us separated and keep their whole thing, what they want, is going to keep that up top. So what I want to say is, let's start putting fathers first. Let's start getting let me say this, let's put fathers and mothers first. Because what the world is showing, that fathers and mothers are not first. Fathers and mothers don't get the same praise. Fathers and mothers don't get the same rights. Fathers and mothers don't get the same respect. They just don't. So this is what I submit. Put the fathers first for a change. Start to do that. And I think we'll be in a better place. I appreciate everybody joining me. It's about time for me to go. Tune in Thursday, 7:00. Y'all know what time it is. Me and my brother coming back once again. We got a great show coming up. Until then, this is MJ Reese signing off. Go get the book, Selma Self-Sacrifice. Follow the YouTube, subscribe. We got some good things coming up. Appreciate everybody joining me. Until next time.